If you want to say in Spanish, it doesn't make sense, you have to say it doesn't have sense. It doesn't have sense. So, no tiene sentido. No tiene sentido. It doesn't make sense. Or literally, it doesn't have sense. No tiene sentido. Try that a few times. No tiene sentido. No tiene sentido. It doesn't have sense. It doesn't make sense. How would you say it makes sense? It makes sense. How would you say it makes sense? Tiene sentido. Tiene sentido. It makes a lot of sense. Tiene mucho sentido. Tiene mucho sentido. How would you say it makes sense to do something like this? It makes sense to do something like this. Tiene sentido hacer algo así. Tiene sentido hacer algo así. Tiene sentido, it has sense, it makes sense. Hacer, to do. Algo así, something like this or like that. Tiene sentido hacer algo así. How would you say it doesn't make sense to buy just one thing? No tiene sentido comprar solo una cosa. No tiene sentido comprar solo una cosa. The word for the answer is la respuesta. La respuesta. Maybe thinking of response might help to remember it. So the answer or the response is la respuesta. How would you say the answer is wrong? La respuesta es incorrecta. La respuesta es incorrecta. How would you say the answer doesn't make sense? Doesn't have sense. The answer doesn't make sense. La respuesta no tiene sentido. La respuesta no tiene sentido. How would you say, the last answer is right? The last answer is right. La última respuesta es correcta. La última respuesta es correcta. We saw that tiene sentido meant it has sense. It has sense. What does tiene mean? What does tiene mean? It has. It has. It's actually he, she. It has. Either of those. Any of those. It has. How would you say it has a problem? Tiene un problema. Tiene un problema. How would you say the car has a problem? El coche tiene un problema. El coche tiene un problema. How would you say it has just one room? It has just one room. Tiene solo una habitación. Tiene solo una habitación. How would you say It doesn't have a driver. It doesn't have a driver. For example, it's automatic. It doesn't have a driver. No tiene un conductor. O no tiene conductor. It doesn't have a driver. No tiene un conductor. Es automático. It's automatic. How about it has a quiet area? It has a quiet area. Tiene una zona tranquila. Tiene una zona tranquila. What about the room has another problem? The light doesn't work. The room has another problem. The light doesn't work. La habitación tiene otro problema. La luz no funciona. La habitación tiene otro problema. La luz no funciona. If you've visited any town with a lot of tourism, you will see outside banks or places that change money the word for change or exchange in different languages. And you will see in Spanish it says cambio. Cambio means exchange or change. It's the same word. Here we're going to use it for change. Cambio. And to change is cambiar. Cambiar, to change. Cambiar, to change. How would you say, I'm going to change the answer? I'm going to change the answer. Voy a cambiar la respuesta. Voy a cambiar la respuesta. How about, it makes sense to change the driver. It makes sense to change the driver. Tiene sentido cambiar el conductor. Tiene sentido cambiar el conductor. And we saw that change, as in the change, was cambio. Cambio. So a change is un cambio. How would you say it doesn't have change? It doesn't have change. For example, the vending machine, it doesn't have change. No tiene cambio. No tiene cambio. How would you say each change is a problem? Each change is a problem. Cada cambio es un problema. Cada cambio es un problema. How about the change doesn't make sense? The change doesn't make sense or doesn't have sense. El cambio no tiene sentido. El cambio no tiene sentido. And how would you say, it's the last change? It's the last change. Es el último cambio. Es el último cambio.